Hi, Glossy.
Hi, Dee. How are you?
Okay, good. How are you anyway?
I'm very well, and it's been a long time since I've spoken to you, sir. And yeah, been going well. Been watching the things that you've been up to, and thank you very much for sending the tunes over. Been fabulous.
No problem at all. Were the two demo mixes fine?
Yeah, I had a listen to those. Love them both. I mean, Lisa Taylor. You know how we feel about Lisa Taylor here at Sound Fusion Radio. Absolutely beautiful vocal on all the things that she's done. And the other snippet you sent through, which was the Lamenga Cafe vocal over the Looking Back at Love. That's a beautiful tune too.
Thank you.
Absolutely love it. So this is your latest project, Dee. Tell us more all about it. Tell us everything we need to know, because absolutely sitting on the edge of our seats here, because the tunes we got through from Lisa, or with Lisa's vocal on last time, they just went down an absolute storm. You know, just love High Five. What a fabulous tune that is.
Yep. This. In terms of the Kejam project, as you know, last time I spoke to you was about 2 years ago, around about November time. 2013.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we were just in the sort of embryonic stage of this project, and now we've taken like a year off, you know, in terms of to get the sound right, the Kejam sound right, and to see exactly. I just wanted to know where we should really take this project, and we've put a 5-year plan into place on how we can actually not only just be good at this, but also how can we spread the message and take it, you know, mainstream, really.
Yeah.
And so it's been that sort of thing of learning, you know, going back to the studio and also working out what is it that we wanted out of sound, you know, what is it that... you know, what is Kejam really all about? And so it's changed, because originally when I had the Kejam idea was full of jazz funk instrumentals.
Yes.
And it was a different landscape, which was supposed to be, remember we talked about how dystopia was supposed to be about, you know, the world at the time in the 70s and 80s.
Yes.
Of a young person growing up. And now it's totally changed. So in terms of we brought artists in. And for example, we got Lisa Taylor on High Five. She's also on Kejam Theme, and also Kejam Theme and High Five are really like the crossover. So we're saying to people, well, look, we used to do lots of instrumentals. Not saying that we're not going to be doing a lot of instrumentals, any more instrumentals, but we used to do instrumentals. But now we're moving away from instrumentals to the Kejam season of vocals. So therefore, High Five deliberately done that way, where it's just instrumentals meet vocals, and Kejam themes done that way, where it's instrumental themes meet vocals. So we are now, the album has now changed also. The album was originally called Dystopia.
Yes.
Now it's going to be called Karma, and we've got a really great track with Lisa on it, which is basically explaining karma. And karma, the album Karma now is about a story I read a while back of women in America who are suffering from a lot of anger issues.
Yes. Yeah.
And the issues were all about how in their relationships they are actually physically abusing their men, and
Right.
it's a growing problem in America.
Mm-hmm.
So it's now all about relationships rather than an album full of with political implications in the background.
Wow, you know, and I can see the progression there, you know, from the early sort of jazz funk feel that you had on the Kejam project. You know, the Entropy track was fabulous, and that went down extremely well, you know, with our listeners here. And then Dystopia. The various you had Gravity, didn't you? And just wonderful to hear those tunes, which were, like you say, back to the 70s with that kind of real jazz funky feel. You know, you created that beautifully because you were part of that originally, and I think that's a need, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. You're right. Yeah, it's a need, and it's like because you've lived it, and also you've lived the experience. Because I think, remember, we had this conversation last time about having to go into the shops, having to buy the record, having to steal the records, also having to go to the clubs and being in the clubs when the music was originally played.
Yes.
You know, and therefore you have that history of understanding of the music.
Absolutely.
Which is important.
I think, you know, it can't be replaced, and you know, that's how these feel like they feel, because when you drop them, they just fit right on into that genre at that time, but they've got a more modern feel to them now. The instrumentation, the way they're put together is more modern, but they've got that kind of classic kind of sound as well. And then adding the vocals, I mean, what kind of prompted you to say go after setting something up with Lisa Taylor? What was the thing there?
Well, yeah, in terms of getting Lisa, it was really that I'd spent a lot of time trying to find the right vocalist, and you know, a lot of your audience may not realise that finding a right vocalist it's not an easy thing. There are loads of singers out there, don't get me wrong. There are lots of singers who can sing. There are lots of singers who out there are doing quite well or really, really well. But getting the right fit of a singer to what you're trying to do, and, you know, who can get over the vision you're trying to do, is very, very difficult. And how I got hold of Lisa Taylor was only by pure chance, because I'd been searching for about 4 or 5 months to find the right vocalist. I turned down a lot of vocalists, even the ones, some of the people I knew in America, I turned them down because they didn't fit with what I was trying to do. And I was speaking to Godfrey Fletcher, who's, you know, if anyone doesn't know Godfrey Fletcher, he's like Mr. Independent, who supports independent artists. He plays only independent artists. He promotes only independent artists. Yes. And I was speaking to him one day, and he said to me, "What about Lisa Taylor?" And I said, Lisa Taylor? He said, "Yes, you know Lisa." And I said, "Oh, the Lisa that sang on Neil Thompson's, you know, the We Groove track."
Yes.
I think she did the track Independent Woman. She got those fantastic lyrics.
Yes, yeah.
And I said to him, "Oh, yeah, her." Yeah, he said, I've been talking to her, and I was telling her about you. Would you like to get in contact with her? And so I did. We got in contact, we had a good chat, and I explained to her what this project was about and what we can bring to the table, and in terms of musically and also in terms of exposure, because she's an artist who really, really, even though her last album did very well and the track with Neil did very, very well, but, you know, she really needs to get exposed, because she is a really top-notch singer. And I'm surprised that more people, or more established people than I am at the moment, have never used her. And so I gave her some ideas, and the first song we actually did was Karma. Karma was the actual first song we actually did. I explained the principle behind it, and she went away and she wrote to it, and that was really, you know, I thought, well, this is going to be good. Wonderful. And then we finished up instead of doing two songs, we've now done 5 songs, and hopefully we've got some more ideas for her to do. And she's like the third arm of Kejam. As you know, that James, who's my sort of musical producer, who I co-produce everything with, and I co-write everything with, who I've known for 25 years. Yes. He's like my Kejam main sort of partner, and then I've got Lisa now, who's like the third arm of Kejam. So it's like I'm bringing together a family who can actually all fit together, and it's all about what you know. It's like people say in a film, "Why is that film good?" Everybody seems to have got on, and it's the same sort of thing. Yeah. It's that because we all work together and we're all happy with what we're doing, and we're also happy with what you're all going to earn out of it, because a lot of things can be about, as you know, when things start going well, people feel aggrieved about what they're not getting and what they're getting, and I've made sure that everybody is earning from this project. So it's not just about, it's not all about me, Kejam, it's about everybody else and how we're going to grow as a family and how we're going to build this project. But
this is what struck me when I spoke to you last time, Dee, because, you've got one thing that a lot of people, and I guess this is the length of time you've been in the industry as well, but a lot of people don't have a plan. You know, you have a plan. You thought about the financial aspects. You thought about the direction you want the sound to go in. You know, who you want on your team. You know, it's all sort of come together how you visualised it.
Yeah, it's true. And I've been also researching on music and sound we want, where we're going to go with this project and where we're going to take it. Like, for example, as you can see, we've got on one track, we've got at the moment Kejam theme. Well, Kejam theme is the vision for this album. You know, this is the sort of road where the two divide. The first album, as I said to you, is called Karma, and the road is, you've seen it with the Kejam theme. It's retro 80s, 70s and 80s, jazz funk feel, and that's what we're doing at the moment. And then you see with High Five, it's got a change of bass line.
Yep.
It's more traditional jazz. It's like, I saw last year, I'm a great follower, a great fan, because that's the other thing. I'm a fan of music. I'm a fan of artists. I support other artists. I mean, I even give credit to other independent artists that I like. I saw Gregory Porter in concert at Love Supreme.
Yeah.
And he was absolutely fantastic. And I sat there, and he was actually connecting with the crowd.
Yes, yeah, he does.
Young children of 7 and 8 were singing "Hey Laura." They were all singing his songs. They knew the songs.
Wow.
And he, and I actually learned something. I'm not, it's like an education every time. You're not too old to keep learning from different things that you see. And so I learned something, saying, wow, that this is what I should be doing. It's like, what's happening next? And so therefore I've decided that you've seen with High Five, it's a traditional jazz bass line. It's given to you. High Five is given to you that way. Some people said to me, well, can I make a criticism? I said, yep, you can make a criticism. And they've said, well, where are all the vocals? I said, there isn't no vocals. Apart from that, it's done on purpose.
Yeah.
I just don't put out a record, with less vocals. It's done on purpose. We have vocals that we're working on, or still working on with High Five, but we gave you High Five the way it is because that's the way I wanted it, to show people,
transition,
and to hear the bass lines and everything, to show people.
Yeah.
Well, on the next album coming after Karma, it's called Divergence, which is the way we're moving towards, which is more traditional jazz bass line. And there's a song which I didn't send you, which I'd love to send it to you. It's called Butterkiss.
I'd love to receive it.
and Butterkiss is Northern Soul meets traditional jazz.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd really love to hear that.
Yeah, because it's like, for example, that Tom Glide's got this new song out, his new remix with the Snake Pit remix.
Yes, yeah, we played it only a couple of days back. Yeah, brilliant remix. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's was it the Colin Watson mix? Was it Colin Watson mix? If I remember rightly.
That's right.
And that's got the Northern Soul. Even when his came out, I said, "Oh boy, Tom, you've got to hear my one because that's the same sort of thing that I've been thinking about, and that's the sort of vision I'm moving towards. Giving people a more traditional jazz bass line and trying to bring, a new stem of way of doing things. Because as doing this music, I could sit here every year and give people exactly the same thing. Like you've noticed, dystopia doesn't sound like entropy, and Kejam theme doesn't sound like entropy, nor does High Five sound like the Kejam theme. And that's what we're trying to do. We're all the time trying to bring you something new with a new flavor, but still keeping elements of the keys, the Kejam keys. Then also trying to show people that, we have improved. We have looked at the production. We've looked to try and take things to the next level. And Lisa, as we were talking about, has brought that element. And when people hear the next two songs that we got lined up, which is the track with Lamenga, which if anyone doesn't know Lamenga, Kathy, she's at the moment one of the top writers in America. She's been with Teddy Riley since the inception of everything that Teddy Riley's done. She's been with Timbaland. She's been with Pharrell, who they were all with Teddy Riley. She's been with all of them. She's written with all of them. She's been on Blackstreet albums. She wrote Anastasia's Biggest Hits, Pay My Dues. She's currently working with Teddy Riley, or she just had currently working with Teddy Riley on the new Rihanna album, and also the new Monica album.
Wow.
So she comes with a pedigree.
Yeah.
And I've known Lamenga for since 2000. So I've known her for a long, long time. And so it's trying to bring her onto the scene, and she's currently trying to do her own stuff. So that's one person. Then, as you know, Lisa's got a different flavour. She's really more rounded socially and also vocally.
Yes.
And she brings a different element. So when people hear the next song that we got with Lisa, the ballad, the mid-tempo ballad, then people are going to start saying, "Wow, you've got great vocalists."
That's great, and the changing of the tempo, having the different tunes on your album, it means it's not all sort of one tempo all the way through. You got a bit of jazz funk, you got your vocals in there, but very gently done, and then you got your ballad, and it just brings that variety. That's what kind of an album that goes on a journey sells the album.
Yeah, true. I agree with you, because, like, for example, I finally got, well, fingers crossed, I finally got Cleveland Jones on the album. I've wanted Cleveland on the album from day one, and Cleveland Jones is a top class male vocalist, because that then balances the album.
Yes.
And we've got a track with Cleveland where people will be surprised. It's basically Anita Baker, male vocalist, meets
wow.
meets what can I say? Meets Herbie Hancock, or meets that sort of Crusaders sort of feel type record.
Yeah, wow. That's a nice combination. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, Cleveland's on it, and also we've even brought a Swiss girl, Faye B.
Wow. Yeah.
You know Faye B?
Well, I'm not familiar with that, but certainly I've probably got music. That's for sure. It's not jumping out at me right now.
Faye B is a Swiss. She's like a Swiss R&B. I don't know if you know DJ Soulchild,
yes,
the Swiss top Swiss R&B DJ. They've been making sort of 80s. Their projects being more like 90s R&B music.
Yeah.
And so we've also done a song with her, but thrown her back into the 80s.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a very, very good song when finished.
Well, this all sounds very exciting. And, how many tracks are you going to have on the album in total, or don't you know yet? You're still putting them in?
Well, it changes. I tell you why it changes, because I've got people who I sent tracks to, who said they would, wanted to be on the album. So, for example, Natasha Watts is still, because Natasha, I co-wrote Worth for her album. She's been so busy lately. She's Jazz Cafe and all these other things, and she also does the house side of it. That she's got the track that we're still waiting to come back from. We've got Chanel, who I worked with on that phenomenally big song "My Life," which was like my first big national and worldwide hit.
Absolutely.
She's with the Sound of Blackness, and they came over here recently to Southport. She's got 3 or 4 songs that she's working on, and with another member of Sound of Blackness, they're helping her write to it, and so we're still waiting for those. So I'm not going to put more than 10 songs on the album, and some tracks that people would think are going to be on there are not going to be on there. Like, for example, Gravity Won't Make It. Gravity was really a throwaway record to get people interested in dancing and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's not made the album. So Radiant, which is another track I do like, that's not made the album. So it just shows you that, you can be... I put myself, even though I'm the artist, and I have, I've also been an A&R person, so therefore I'm very critical of what I do. And if it's not up there, because we've moved on musically.
Yes.
If it's not up with what we're doing, it won't be on the album.
Well, it's nice that that you take that decision to, because a lot of people won't axe a tune that they've spent a lot of time in the production and writing of. But like you say, you want this to be the project. You want this to be the quality that you want it to be. And you're going to be your own worst critic as well. So, going forward with a 10-track album with everything in it that you're thinking and feeling is 100%, it has got to be a good place to be.
Yes, it is, and that's what it's all about. It's, I don't make albums for other people. I make albums for me. As we discussed in the beginning. This journey that we're on the Kejam project, it's a journey, and it's, if people don't like some of the songs that we're coming up with, and luckily they do at the moment, that is it. It's not going to be any different. It's not, oh, you should have done this and you should have done that. No, this is it, and this is the way we're taking it. And it's, as you said about history and learning, this is not a 2-year thing that I've learned. This is a 40-year thing I've learned about music.
Yes, yeah.
And I've learned from different styles of music. Like, for example, the Lisa track, the One and Only Love that you may play later, for example, that track has got a reggae feel. It's got like a reggae bass line on it. And also there's the top, one of the top UK sound systems, Fifth Avenue. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yes.
They go over Jamaica. They go across the whole of the Caribbean. They're big on the underground, on the reggae scene, the sort of bashment scene and everything. They, once this is ready and it's mixed down, of course you'll get, like I always do, advanced copies. Well, they're gonna have it dub plated.
Yes.
Because they believe that it can cross over to the reggae market and to that sort of bashment market.
Wonderful.
Things are looking really good for the album, and I'm really, pleased with everything from the instrumentation all the way to the songwriting, all the way through to the final mix and production, because we do everything in-house. James and I do everything. We don't even have anybody else instrumentally involved. We do everything in-house. Even everything in-house is done, but I do all the cover design myself. I do all my own marketing, promotion, all myself, the licensing, everything is all done by me.
Yep, independent in its truest sense.
It's long nights of promoting.
Well, it's paying off, and like you say, it's you and James on the instrumentation. That combination simply works and has done since day one, really, hasn't it? I mean, you and James know each other that well that it just seems, and this is just me feeling what I feel from the music, but it just seems that's just a gel. That's just two pieces of a jigsaw that just slot right on in, right together.
Yeah, you're right. And it's like I've known James for 20-something years. Yeah. And the good thing about James and I is that when we do, it's not we're in the studio every day. It doesn't work like that. There's slots because James, as you know, does a lot of production work for other people. Yeah. And he does his own thing, and he does a lot of sessions for other people who want to be involved in the music. But James and I are quite simple. It's 10 o'clock till 6 o'clock. That's it.
Yeah.
And 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock in most days, we've written 2 songs.
Well, that's pretty good going.
I remember reading Nile Rodgers saying about him and Bernard Edwards that they would go into the studio and just record songs, and that would be it. It'd be the one take, and that would be it. And if 5 hours later, or whatever it is, the song is finished. And in terms of instrumentation and everything, James and I go in there from 10 till 6, and we normally finish 2 songs.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, normally it's 1.5 to 2 songs finished. 1 song definitely finished. We normally finish 2 songs. So it's like we don't waste time. The tea breaks are let's have a sandwich and have a talk for 10 minutes, and we're back on it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, dedication for sure, and
and it's all about being professional, and it's set deadlines, and time costs money, so we need to get this done.
Yeah, wow. Well, and you are getting it done because it's coming out there, and whenever I get new tunes from you, Dee, Anna will pass me new tunes from you, and I just love them. I want them because I know they're going to be great, and when we play them, High Five and the Kejam theme, both of those tunes, when we received those on promo from you, received great response from our audience. Everybody loving it.
Well, thanks. I'd like to thank your audience, and also thank you and Anna, because you've been a great supporter of this project from day one. And in terms of the key, when I was deciding what's the first song we're coming back with, I decided it would be the Kejam theme, because the Kejam theme is sort of a tribute to back in the day where people danced, and it's also saying I deliberately branded it when I wrote the lyrics and everything, and Lisa, when I sent it off to Lisa, I said, well, Lisa, here is, we're giving you a melody line for the song, but here is what I want on it, which is, and this is the storyline, which is, this is how we do it, we're doing it for the UK, and, because UK are steppers, because the thing is, though, when you go to any event in the UK, or in terms of soul music, everybody does that cameo dance. Everybody does all that stepping dances. So therefore, it was my sort of tribute to the UK steppers.
It fits right on in,
But most of all, I'd like to say that that's why it's called Kejam Theme Lorraine, because it was originally written for my fiancée, because it was called Lorraine's theme, and it was an instrumental, and then I started messing about with it, with the Kejam theme.
Yeah.
So that's why it's got that strange title, Kejam Theme Lorraine.
I didn't actually think anything of that title, apart from the fact it was a nice title, and it kind of makes it stick in your mind, Dee. Because it's Kejam Theme Lorraine, it just sticks in there, and I just love the tune. I just it's got that happy steppy vibe about it, and Lisa brings her element to that, so you've got this wonderful music underneath, and the great vocals of Lisa over the top, which brings even more joy to a very joyous track. Well, we enjoy it too, Dee, and we have a great social media engine here at Sound Fusion, and we love it when you guys hook in to what we do. It's nice to see your tweets out there alongside our tweets. It's nice to see all of that going on, and it does get the message out. It really does.
Yeah, it's a two-way process, and I spend lots of nights just thanking DJs for just playing the songs. But it has to be done, because it's people who are supporting your music, who are taking time to listen to it and to play it. So it's like a family. I'm trying to build a family, not just the family of making the records, but the families of who puts out the records and the outlets as well, because those, as you know, as we just discussed earlier, have all disappeared, and now we're living in a new social media world, which is instantly easier to find DJs and everything, but to actually be able to say to a DJ, well, my new song's coming out, they will say, can't wait for it. And that's the sort of reaction that you want as an artist who's trying to build up your portfolio, because we're still, the jug is not filled up yet. We're still about 30% in the jug at the moment, and we've still got another 70% to rise. So it's a 5-year process. It's not, if anyone thinks they're going to come into this music or want to bring out records and it's going to be achieved in 1 year, they're wasting their time. They might as well not bother, because it's a 5-year process of platforms that you have to keep building. Yes, you're going to get your knockbacks, but it's just a big platform you have to keep building.
Yeah, I fully agree. And as far as Kejam's concerned, it's certainly paying that dividend. It's paying that, the respect of the music, the way you come across, the way you handle the social media. Everybody's feeling the love because of the attention that you pay it.
Well, thank you, because that's how we do it.
Absolutely wonderful. Well, hit the nail right on the head, sir.
Yeah, okay. Good to talk to you, Glossy.
Yeah, you too. Have a wonderful Saturday, Dee. And yeah, let's not leave it 2 years before we chat again. That's for sure.
We'll be talking soon.
Wonderful.
And if there's any drops or anything you want, voice drops, whatever you need, just let us know.
Oh, that's fabulous. Thank you so much, Dee. Have a great weekend. And
you too.
I'll speak to you very soon. And thanks very much for the music. Please keep bringing it out.
No problem at all. No problem at all.
Wonderful. Take care, Dee.
Bye-bye.
Thank you now. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.